Get the latest on what's going on this earnings season, meets, beats, and more in Zach's Earnings Scorecard.
The radar sweep is all over the screen for this particular earnings scorecard. There's three companies here in different areas. Eric Dutram is here to fill us in. I think you do that purposely just to throw us from time to time. But they are interesting companies like Fitbit.
Yeah, you're going to cast a wide net here, and that's what we're doing with these three companies. Fitbit is sort of this leader in wearable technologies, what we're going to call one of these companies. Very dicey sort of start for Fitbit as it's been a publicly traded firm. Very nice surge initially following its report, and then shares have really kind of collapsed. This is kind of a concern for investors, and if we look to the chart, we can see especially why. The company is beaten in all four of its reports as a public firm, but share prices have fallen, dramatically from a high of 48 down to this range of about 12. Also a concern for investors is this flat earnings consensus estimate, and shares have actually sort of moved lower for the next year as more competition has really entered the space. The company does have a Zacks rank 4 and an A for its VGM score, so not a whole lot to like in terms of the earnings estimates, but at least some fundamentals are looking better. And I mean, granted, shares have been really beaten down, so it's hard not to get some better value metrics when you've lost like 50% of your value. But a 0 on its earnings ESP right now, so investors might want to look elsewhere. But we could see some nice numbers given that the company had a very positive report in its last report, but it said it was kind of pushing out some stuff to the next quarter. So I think investors are hoping that they follow through on that.
All right. Is TASR going to give investors a jolt this earnings season?
I knew you were going to go there with TASR, and I do think that they might give investors a shocking report here. We have seen TASR really come back into the news thanks to all the policing issues we've seen across the country.
Right.
And if we look to the chart here, we can really see that this has had a very big impact on TASR stock. We can see that shares have gone from about $16 to $28 in just the last 8 weeks or so. And this is really despite earnings estimates going nowhere over the last same time period. So this is really a story where the hype is going to have to live up to the overall expectations. I think eventually TASR will do pretty well here, but this report, it's hard to get too excited. The company does have a Zacks rank 4 and a C for its VGM score, so not a lot to like from the fundamental perspective, and especially given this big jump it's seen since its last earnings report.
All right, then First Solar, right?
Yeah.
So how hot is solar energy?
Solar energy has been not that hot, really. It hasn't been too bright of an area for investors.
Right.
We've seen, sort of this space trend along with oil prices, and with oil so low and in general energy prices so low, investors don't really have the same incentive to go to a lot of these solar names. Competition's also been pretty severe in this space, and if we look to the chart, we can see that shares have been stuck in this very narrow range over the last couple of years. Really hasn't really broken out above 68, and it hasn't really fallen below this $35 range. This is despite a nice history of earnings beats. We've seen 4 in a row right here, but earnings estimates have slid a little bit, and the company actually has a very negative earnings ESP, and this goes along with its Zacks score of 3 and a D VGM score. So once again, not great fundamentals for this solar company going into its report.
All right. Do you own either of these?
I do not, but I am taking a bet on Fitbit with some options, but that's really more of a roll of the dice than anything.
All right. Well, we'll take it anyway. Check out some more information on our website, Zacks.com, up there 24/7 for your review with Eric. I'm Terry Ruffalo.